Hello everyone, this is Noor Abdelghani, Group B, FLA. This video is supervised by Dr. Mona Aid. Today I'm going to talk about general criminal defenses, especially necessity and duress through threats. But first of all, let us define what is general criminal defenses. They are conditions in which the criminal law remove the offender's liability for a range of criminal offenses. There are a lot of types for these conditions: infancy, insanity, automatism, involuntary intoxication, voluntary intoxication, self-defense, duress through threats, duress of circumstances, and necessity. So, what is necessity? Necessity it is the excusing of the offender's liability for the offense, because at the time of the crime the offender committed the crime to avoid something even worse than the crime occurring. He is even called the lesser of two evils. Let's take this example. A defendant was convicted of driving with a suspended license for traveling to a telephone to call for help for his pregnant wife. He didn't have his own phone, and his wife was experiencing back and stomach pains. He first walked to his only neighbor's house to use the phone, but unfortunately, no one was home. He then drove a mile and a half to the nearest phone to call his mother-in-law for help. On the driving back home, the police stopped him for a broken tail light and arrested him for driving with a suspended license. Recognizing that the circumstances beyond one's control sometimes forces a defendant to engage in illegal conduct, the appellate court ruled the trial court should have allowed the defendant to present a necessity defense. Now let's talk about the second defense that we are having today, which is duress through threats. What is duress through threats? It is the excusing of the offender's liability for the offense. Why? Because at the time of the crime, the offender or the criminal received threat from someone else of immediate death or serious injury. So the criminal had to commit the crime. They were forced to commit it, not on their own free will. Let's imagine now that we have someone who is holding a gun at someone else's head and asking him to kill another person, or this person himself will be killed. So at that point, the offender will not have any choices but just to do what is asked from him and to be under the control of the real offender who is asking him to kill someone else to stay alive. Okay, so now we are going to compare between the necessity and the duress through threats. We know by now that both of them is done not by the will of the offender. But what's the difference? Okay, let's start with necessity. Necessity defense is caused by the nature of the situation itself, in which the situation itself obligates the offender to commit the crime to avoid something even worse than the crime committing. While the duress through threats is caused by someone that is threatening the offender to commit the crime or to commit the offense, which means that here the reason behind the crime is a person that obligates another person to do something, while in necessity what obligates the offender is the nature of the situation itself, and not a person. Thank you. This was my video. I hope you enjoy it.